From the mind of El Rico Studios. It's the top 1%. Four friends from Escambia High School to Pensacola, Florida, give their takes on family, relationships, sports, entertainment, and business. Your host, CEO, director, writer, producer, El Rico Tunstall, along with business and marketing expert Alex Ennis. We got rap artist and actor Crook, aka Austin B, as well as cool, never the fool, Mr. Pay the Man himself, that boy there, LG. It's the top 1%.
Welcome to the top 1%. I am your host for this episode, CT, your resident business and marketing expert. And co-hosting with me are Mr. LG. Say what's up to everybody.
What's happening?
All right. The one and only Crook. Say what's up, bro.
KROOK in the building.
And let me catch my breath because he's got so many titles. The Czar, the head of the table, the tribal chief, the director, producer, business owner. All right, I'm good, dude. El Rico. Man, I'm not favored. Go ahead.
Thank you. Bada bing, bada boom. You know the rest.
Yes, sir. man. So last week, let's just jump on it real quick. So last week, the Washington Commanders safety by the name of Jeremy Reeves proposed to his girlfriend right after the game, and it brought a very interesting topic that I think that we should really talk about. Okay. In this sense, which one is really more important? Okay, really, to meet a woman before you become successful, a person who grows with you, or to meet a woman that's just as successful once you make it. So and I think that this is a really interesting question and a really interesting topic, and I wanted to get y'all's take in it. So, man, Crook, man, tell me what how you feel about this one.
Good question. Great question as usual on the top 1%. For me, I think to meet a woman and build with her would be better. And the reason why I say that is because of my parents and other members of my family. They were at a certain level, like for example, my parents, they actually met while they were in high school, their first and last year in high school, because of the desegregation going on at the time. They were like the only two black students to go to the white schools, and they end up meeting, and they end up meeting at a certain level. My dad didn't have a lot of money. My mom didn't have a lot of money. They built and grow. My mom, not demanded, but she expected, if my dad wanted her hand in marriage, that he was going to have to wait 5 years while she get her degree. So he literally waited for 5 years, and as those years grow, and then as they grew and they worked together, I mean, they made so many different moves over my course of my lifetime, where I definitely would like to have somebody like that to meet me at my same level, understanding like, look, I don't have all the money in the world, but I have a good work ethic. I come from a good family, and then we can build and grow together. And then there was, for that's like, I guess, traditional couple in that sense. But then in today's mind frame, I thought I would actually by this time I thought I would actually be earning like 6 figures by the time I was in my 40s and this and that. So there was a big part of me in my 20s that was like, okay, well, I might not be able to meet somebody at this young age in high school from my hometown like my parents met, but maybe I can build myself and become successfully financially, and then I'll be able to meet somebody. I'll go ahead and get a car, get a house, and have have a degree and have all the earnings built up and saved up, and practice financial literacy. And then I'll find somebody that will come into my life and be like, okay, well, I have everything built. All I need now is to start a family. But that didn't work out. So like I said, if I had to choose between the two, I would really like to have what my parents had and other people in my family, which is to meet somebody at a certain level. Those two, you have an understanding, you build, you grow, you educate yourself. I mean, if you have to go back to earn a degree or certification for your job to earn more money, you do that. You know, if you have to move away for 8 months to a year in order to get a raise, you know, be away from your family, you do that. You know, but you know, you actually have a team effort going on. It ain't just one person saying, I'm going to do this and this is how we're going to go in the family. Or, you know, the other person saying, you know, I'm going to do this and you follow me. So, you know, like
Sacrifice.
so it was definitely like, I've seen that too. I have, you know, Coach, for example, Coach had that, you know what I'm saying? It has that now. So, you know, you meet somebody, you know, professionally, you know, and, or, you know, in your mid 20s, your late 30s. And then next thing you know, you just kind of like, all right, we're a little bit better than we were as teenagers, but, you know, we just build from there. You know what I mean? So anyway,
Okay. All right. G, what say you, my friend?
Hey, here I go. Hey, what was the question again? Can you repeat it?
All right. So basically, is it more important to meet a female before you become successful
Hey,
and basically grow together,
hey,
or do you want to meet somebody who's just as successful once you make it?
okay. No, it don't matter. It don't matter at all. I'm talking about because you meet somebody more successful than you. What you gonna do with them? They gone. Okay. You meet somebody who got something less than you, so you don't get what you got. They gone. I mean, for real. They gone. Yeah. You don't get the graphic in there. They gone.
Okay. Man, nah, you know,
You know
no,
what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. More successful, money ain't got nothing to do with it. You know, property ain't got nothing to do with it. You just gotta be smart with what you got going on. You know, if you have that already, yeah, you gotta be smart with it. You gotta have common sense. But if you don't, then you know, just roll with it. That's all you can do. You know, it depending on your age. If you over 30, what you gonna do? You know, you ain't gonna do nothing too much. So I say just roll with it. You know, none of that other stuff matters too much.
now, so before I pivot over to E, you know, I think that, you know, I just want to kind of get my 2 cents in it, and for me, honestly, the word successful is really relative. Okay, it's relative to what you are in life or where you want to be in life. Some people, a doctor and a lawyer is, or an architect or an actor or whatever, is their measure of success. Other people's measure of success might be my wife is a homemaker. I'm a uh, I'm a plumber. We have a nice little house, and you know, and we're able to take care of our kids and grow old together. That's success. So everybody has different types of measures to what success is. So it's a really relative term. It's a broad term. I think that's the best way to put it. I mean, for me, I mean, there's gonna be, you know, it just, to me, if you're with the right person, you're not. I'm not gonna care, you know, and I will hope that the person that I meet is not gonna care what I have, and I'm honestly not gonna care what they have. You know, there's been times, you know, that I've been the main breadwinner in my household. There's been times that my wife is the main breadwinner in my household. But the thing is that you want to meet that person who is there and supports you in general, regardless of where you guys are financially. Is it do I so really to me, I'm with
Find
G in
that
the
right
sense.
piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, so I'm with G on that. It doesn't really matter to me. What you want is somebody that's genuine. I mean, that's just where I am on that. But E, what say you, my friend?
I believe life is about like sweet spots, man. Sweet spots. And I mean that in the sense of when you find somebody right, they actually come along at the exact right time that they're supposed to be in your life. Like certain people aren't supposed to be with you during the struggle period because that's not their sweet spot. They're supposed to be with you right at the exact time when you cross over and hit a certain point. For me, for example, using my life for an example, when I was at my lowest and I was riding a bicycle to PWCI and I had to take an extra change of clothes, I was sweating going to business meetings because I had no AC in my Ford Focus and I was riding a bicycle majority of the time and I didn't have money.
Facts.
Okay, like I am thankful that Gina didn't know that version of me. She came along right at the time when everything started getting right when I hit Avalon. When I moved into Avalon Apartments and everything started lining up, and me and you really started to see just a little bit of sunshine over those hills, that's when my wife was in my life. That's when she came part of my life. And I believe it's all about the correct time. And I use the word sweet spot. She hit that sweet spot right there where she was supposed to be at. So
you're blessed at the right time.
Yeah. And finding somebody at the right time and actually accepting them and not screwing it up is going to add more blessings on top of what's supposed to be coming anyway. You know, because sometimes you can be, it's the same as money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if you get money at a young age and you mess it up, you may not get that money again, but you know what I mean? So the sweet spot in your life for like, okay, I'm 40 now. I know that I need a mortgage. I know that I need to make sure my light bill is paid. Because at 20, you ain't thinking about that. You know what I mean? Okay, you're thinking it rims. I need some rims. I need some, 12s in the back. That's what you're thinking. So yeah, I feel
your priorities are out of whack. Right.
Yeah. Well, responsibility. When you're at a certain age, you have only a certain amount of responsibility, but as you grow in life, the responsibility become heavier.
Exactly.
More and more needs.
Exactly. No, I want to kind of touch on something real quick with E, and I hope Gina's listening to this because the way I knew that Gina had him, and the way I knew that, man, okay, this is serious. I go to this apartment in Avalon. Now, you know me, I made myself at home.
Oh yeah.
I dash straight to the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And I see some green grapes. I love grapes, man. So he has a whole batch of grapes. I had that whole batch of grapes. That man ripped them grapes out of my hand and said, "That was Gina's grapes." And his chest got all swollen. I'm like,
hey, that's love.
I'm talking about baby grapes. I'm talking about baby grapes.
I was like, okay, all right, here, bro. You got it, man. You got it. My man. That's how I knew Gina had that man at that point. True story. I just wanted to interject on that one.
Yeah,
ain't nobody touching my woman's grapes.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. All right, G, were you gonna say something?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say something about that, but I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
No, did she explain?
No, I ain't want to explain how chicks need to be. You know what I'm saying? When somebody, see, I already went into it. But, when somebody loves somebody like that, they gonna treat them the right way, of course. But to get love like that, you have to show that you can do something like that. It ain't like you just gonna get that out the blue. So you gotta show what you're gonna do, and then when you do something, it's gonna run through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. All right, so you know what, man, I love talking, having these relationship topics, but me and E are the only two parents here. But I want to take it to the non-parents here. Okay. Now, let me ask you fellas this. At what age is it acceptable to hear cuss words from your kids? When do you think it's acceptable? If at any age?
I would say when you're grown, meaning 18 years of age, and you moved out the house. And you're not in your parents' presence in the house. You might be over the phone, you might have you know what I'm saying, stepped and hit your, put your foot on something. You go, "Ah, dang," you know, because well, all four of us came up in a household. There was no cursing whatsoever. We got whooped, spanked, knocked around, something cursed out of my mouth. It was just not acceptable. So, but I mean, like me, I just kind of, I've always envisioned myself as a parent anyway, one day and stuff. But like me, I'm just thinking about that, that question, whether it's a son or a daughter, and like you always like to bring up, CT. There's situation. I mean, there's like levels to this. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is in context. So if the way that we get treated by our parents is like, oh, no matter how old we get, we're still children. No matter if you're 20s, 30s, 40s, there's not gonna be no cussing whatsoever as long as I live and you live. But then there's certain instances where, what if your son doesn't get the promotion they was so hard working for, and they call you up as a father, and it's just like, dog, Dad, I didn't get the doggone job. But then they're dropping all types of. Then I would say, son, and they want to have a marriage, or they want to have a relationship because it's real important to them for their girl. They want to buy their girl for some grapes. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm talking on the phone with them like how can, as a dad, I kind of understand. And then like if I had a daughter, what if my daughter was a really good gymnastics or a basketball player, and she actually lost the game, so her team lost the game and there was a bad call or something. And then she, is talking to me about it after we go home. We both thought it was a bad call. Like, I mean, baby, go ahead and let it on out right here. It's between me, you, and God, and go ahead and just curse all you want to, get it on out so we can get it off your chest and, move on to the next thing too. So for me, like I said, to answer the question, like, I don't think it's acceptable to curse in your parents' house, especially if they raise you not to curse. But then, you know what I'm saying? Like after a certain amount of time, it's like, well, you're 18 years old, you're grown, you're paying your own bills, living your own life. So, you become a more responsible adult than a teenager. So, you can speak how you want to speak in your own house. Just don't do it in mine.
Okay. So G, what do you guys say about this topic? And Crook, real quick, man, I love how you said context, because there's always context to things. So I love you bringing that up. So,
in context, let me tell you that. I would take it straight to context. I don't know what context at. I think it's in Texas somewhere. It's probably by Houston, about 100 miles.
I think he said context. Your context.
Oh, context? Okay, context. Okay. Hey, all I know is people have them in their eyes. It's different colors. I don't know what's going on with it. I know I get it. You got hazel today, you got brown tomorrow, whatever. I'll brown tomorrow too. But okay, I believe that kids can cuss at any age, long as they understand what's going to happen to them after they do it. You know what I'm saying? You could be 2 years old. You could 1 year old. You can come out there. If I have a baby and she come out saying "wah" and it sounds like it's a cuss word, she do it.
okay. I can't.
If somebody has enough sense to say a cuss word, that for one, a child, that means they've been around it. I mean, being straight up. So if they've been around it, if you ain't been saying it, somebody else been saying it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Now,
hey, make them say it backwards.
So me personally, call me whatever you want, but I have daughters and I have a son. Okay, call me whatever you want, as far as being sexist or what have you. But one thing that my father said to me the first time he heard me cuss is that are those the only words that you know how to use? Is your vocabulary that limited because I thought you were smart. So are you cussing because you don't know what else to say, and your vocabulary is that limited, or is this just how you really feel? Okay. Now, as far as is it okay, I'm with Crook in the sense that if my kid has his own household away from me, he or she is not dependent on me financially. Okay.
That's a big part.
And that that's that's one thing. And but like Kirk said, truth be told, and he knows this for a fact, I had a really dirty mouth when I was 12 years old. And y'all know this from when y'all knew me at 15. I had a dirty mouth when I was 15 years old.
Let it fly.
And I would say it in two different languages. Okay.
I was confused. It took me a second. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "What's he saying? What is he saying?"
But the thing is that am I using those words because I'm frustrated by the situation and I'm competitive when I'm playing a sport? If I get a bad call, I'm not gonna go golly gee wads. I'm gonna, if the ref is in front of me, they finna get that word. whether I'm wearing shoulder pads or whether I'm playing ball. And if now my daughter's upset about something and she needs to get that release. Now, if she is I'll say this, if she's cussing towards me, we got a problem.
Right. That's no.
If she's cussing towards her mom, her grandfather, anybody in that her uncles, anybody in that in that totem pole, if any of my kids do that, I'm being a newspaper.
And then, hey, on that point, I would like to let people know, a public alert, that they do have lawyers that are prepaid. So, like, if you know you finna beat the shit out your kid, you know what I'm saying? You can prepay that stuff.
Yeah, that's called a retainer. That's called a retainer. Yes, sir.
It's like, hey, I know. Hey, 2 months from now.
So
curse.
but that's what I'm saying. If they need to express themselves because something happened, and that's one thing. But if it's towards my direction or any of those people that are in there, I'm gonna have a problem. So that's my take on that. E, what say you, my friend?
Go ahead and rephrase. Give us a question again for the listeners who may have just jumped in.
Okay. So at what age is it acceptable to hear your children use curse words?
Okay. Personally, for myself, I would say when they're out of your home, when they turn 18, they can, say whatever they want to say. But I know as far as my house, while they're living here, if they're living here, I know it won't be allowed inside. Uh, I do have a son that's a rapper now who uses words, but we'll always keep that separated from my younger son. My 4-year-old is about to be 5, coming up soon. Like, I don't expose them to it. It won't come from me. The only thing that my children will get from me is the example of I know how to use the English language and say what I need to say without saying words that are explicit. I don't have to do that.
So that goes to Alex's father's topic.
Yeah,
I thought it was a great point for us, by the way.
Yeah. So, like I said, for me, man, like I said, I'm not going to force them. I say, you know what, you can't, but respect the house, because I respected my parents. Rest in heaven, my mother and my father. They never cursed in front of me. And I have always used that example for myself. Like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to curse in front of my kids. And I am blessed that I married a woman, and Eugenia that doesn't curse either. So we're like a perfect match. So King never hears this. Malachi never hears nothing like that. And even Rico White lived it. But once he got older, went on his own, like I said, yeah, you can rap, say whatever you want to say, but just be mindful of the people around you and, you know, respect everybody's own personal thing. Like if I know that Crook doesn't like certain talking about politics, I'm not going to talk about politics to him. If I know LG don't want to hear the B word, stuff like that, I'm not going to be dropping that around him. Like certain females don't want to hear that. Some people can't stand the B word. But in today's age, these kids running around, they dropping it like it's just another word.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where it becomes unacceptable for me. Okay, but that's my stance on it in the short term.
Okay. All right. So let's real quick pivot to something a little bit more fun, a little bit more of a fun topic for everybody here. So, top 3 reasons to be single or married in this new year of 2025. What are the top 3 reasons to be single or married in 2025?
Sit up.
All right.
Our question like awkward. That's messed up.
All right.
Or
3 reasons to be single
or married, either or.
I'm sorry. We're not listing 3 ones to be single and 3 ones to be married. We're just
I mean, let's go both. If guys, we got.
That's what I'm saying. I thought we were gonna go both. I was like, all right, 3.
Shoot them if you got them.
Pros,
Hey, man.
pros, even though I'm not
Hey
married.
man, how you want to roll with it?
Pros for being single would be I have to spend my own money and budget my own money and not having to spend money on something else like dating or what I'm saying, gifts and stuff like that, right? Christmas gifts, Valentine's Day gifts and stuff like that. So that's one is the financial burden of not having to fork out money because I'm providing all this stuff, right?
Okay.
Number 2 would be now that I'm in the filmmaking and entertainment, instead of it just being my significant other's attention, I can get attention from a lot of different other single people, including, especially women. That's what I'm talking about. Women.
Deactivate a man.
And then, it's just me. Let the wives know it's just Crook, just Austin B talking. It's Mr. Spray can. So, and then my another pro to being single is I can travel when I want to go, so I don't necessarily have to wait. Right. I don't have to wait to the scheduling situation. Okay, my wife is not going to be off, or my girlfriend is not going to be off in this job one day, so I won't be able to travel here. Right now, I can just there's filming, there's auditions in January 18th through the 20th. I can be here. You know what I'm saying? I can leave. I can go. If I have to go to California, New York, and I can leave. So that's my 3 for being single. All right, the 3 reasons why I think marriage is good, because I'm not married right now. So I would say 1, you'll have two incomes. You know what I'm saying? So that's the benefit. You can definitely raise kids, to me, better off of 2 incomes instead of one income. 2 is the benefit being married is you don't have to go out and do the dog and pony show or put on the show and get dressed up and try to do the whole impression game. So, like me right now, there's sometimes where I'm like, man, if I don't dress to impress at every event, I may not find somebody who I may not find a fiance.
Man, I'm so glad I don't got to impress nobody no more, man. I'm
right.
good.
Look at the married faces. It's like, whoo, yes, you said a word. And then number 3, another benefit of being married is, somebody, Lord willing, God willing, to grow old with. So when you're physically breaking down, or what I'm saying, you're physically able to not make the money financially or something, you can see to have that other person with you to say, all right, my life is not great or perfect, but as long as you're here, I can get through it, So that's my 3 for the benefits of marriage and my pros to being single.
All right.
I
Go ahead, G.
Are we doing the married folks now?
I need to hear one of them.
Just pick three either way. Either way.
And I let you get out this one, G.
Either way, my friend.
Of being single in 2025. What's the benefits of being single in 2025?
The benefits of being married is that you have a family of fortunate people that can have faith and you have a future. You know what I'm saying? It's like 4 F's. You know what I'm saying? But the benefit of being single is I ain't gotta worry about that. 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 That's it.
The music.
Yeah, cue the music. Drop the beat.
All right. E, what say you, my friend?
All right, I'll start with the married. The benefits of being married, of course, is not living in sin. Being able to, when you find a wife, of course, you find that blessings will start coming to you a little bit more because you're walking in covenant, something that God ordained, which was marriage. And then the last thing is it's also being able to create a family. Ultimately, human beings, we all, at some point, 90% of us want family. Even if our last previous family we were born into, we didn't too much care for it, but you get to choose this family. And if you pick it right, you might be on to something and actually live a happy life.
Right.
So those are the benefits of marriage. And then I would say some of the things that is a negative for us today, which some people might see, I know the question is, was the benefit of being single? Or was it just, what was the single question?
What was the 3 pros, I guess?
Okay, so the pros of being single.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I'm saying that's kind of hard for me because I always saw being single as like a negative.
Down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean,
At the same time.
yeah, I mean, if you look at today in 2025, man, I mean, there's not a lot of good stock to choose from. I mean, everybody's got a backstory. And the question is, do you want to read those chapters? Even invested in that.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
You know what I mean?
There are a lot of damaged people out there, man. A lot of damaged people.
So
Facts.
It goes to the second book. Like, what?
So I mean, for me, man, like it's all just like I don't know. I would not, and I've said this before. I would not want to be single in today's time because it's horrible, man. It's horrible because these women are learning from Sexy Red. That's what they're learning from, and they're learning from people that's not even supposed to be teaching anything about marriage because they ain't married. So yeah, man, I'm sorry. That's just I'm glad I'm in the position I'm in. I love you, Gina.
Hey, if you can find your value, you better keep it. Hey, somebody else take it, it's gone.
So just to tie a knot on this real quick, and I'm with E in the sense that having as a benefit to being married, having a family, and kind of envisioning me and Michelle, us being sick in our 60s and our 70s, and have Alex Jr. maybe bring his juniors. And Serenity and her family, and Najee and her family, and seeing what you produce, right? Seeing the, and the extended family behind that, just in a sense of growing your family. That is, I think, such an amazing thing. Whenever you see an entire family come together and know that one person, that one woman, or that one man created so many other people. So many personalities. That's like an amazing blessing to me, and I wouldn't change that for the world. The other benefit, obviously, is financial. If I'm down, I know Michelle's got my back. If Michelle's down, she, I got her back. So the financial benefit is clear. As far as and ultimately having that partner that you can lean on to talk to and know that they have your best interest in heart if you chose the right partner. So those would be my three on the plus. On the negative, yes, scheduling. Scheduling is always tricky when you are with somebody. You have to look at calendars, you have to look at schedules, you have to look at things of that nature. Financial on the opposite side, you got you're now you got to take care of two people. There's multiple people involved. There's a lot of planning on things, and ultimately, like he said, it's crazy out there. And if I end up being single at some point, if something happened, I won't know what to do. Seeing what's out there. So that's it. So guys, man, this has been a great, wonderful episode, and thank you very much. And as always, this is CT signing off. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more.